Hey guys, I'm Leanne and welcome to your practice. We are going to do a short but sweet, even a little spicy mobility work today. So the only thing that you need for this practice is a block. If you don't have a block, that's also fine. You can use something like a novel or a bigger book, really even a can, anything that you can kind of hold overhead that's going to provide a little input and feedback just from having a little more weight in one hand. So go ahead and grab what you need, and we're going to go ahead and get started in child's pose. Meeting me in child's pose, take a moment to let your knees fall a little wider than where they would naturally land. And you're not really rushing to any destination here or ever in this practice. Not even rushing to stillness here, but rather maybe coming down to the forearms if and when it feels available. A slight tip of the tailbone to the sky, or maybe sending it straight back as you just rock in and out of the space that's here. Maybe it feels okay to close down the eyes and relax into the muscles behind your eyes. And slowly turning yourself inward and allowing the conversation between your body and your breath. Becoming a little more aware of the breath, maybe tracing it through the body. Starting to seal the lips if you haven't already, finding a bit of a circular quality to the breath coming in and the breath going out. The idea is that you'll breathe in through the nose as often as you can for the remainder of your practice, working to lengthen and smooth out each exhale, but if and when you need to, feel free to open the mouth, let the exhale move through, clear it out, and begin again. Just another breath here. Notice what you're noticing, whether it's the hips, the thighs, knees, shoulders, anything that's speaking up. And then pause. Start to plant your palms and walk them towards your knees. Tucking all 10 toes underneath you. Just start to push into your hands so you can lift off your knees, drawing your knees somewhere into your rib cage or your chest. And then look down at all 10 toes and make sure they're all on the floor. And then gently rock your knees forwards and back. Just starting to wake things up in the feet, the flexibility of the toe knuckles, the dorsiflexion, the front of your ankle. Maybe you're feeling this a bit in the knees. You don't have to go to any extreme spaces. Just notice what you're noticing here, shifting weight from toes to heels. Next time your knees come down, set them a little bit wider than your hips. Plant your left hand slightly outside your left shoulder. It's fine if the fingertips are off the mat here. Big breath in to reach your right arm high to the sky and pause at the top. Think about using the leverage of the floor to really press and pull your collarbones apart. Feel your wingspan sort of opening up as you pull your arms in both directions. Notice what's happening in your right shoulder blade. As you stay here and linger for a moment, see if you can snuggle that right shoulder blade in towards the spine, waking up some new space. Take the inhale here, feel yourself pulling your arms apart. And then as you exhale, bring the hand behind the head. Feel the weight of the head gently tilt back. Realizing that the armpit's starting to speak up here. See if you can find that sensation driving the elbow back. Exhaling to curl. Right elbow comes somewhere inside the left arm or towards the left knee. Let the inhale pull you back open. Collarbone spread wide. Shoulder blade pulling back. Exhale, curl. Coming anywhere towards the left wrist. Let the inhale be an opening. Sensing the length of the opening. The depth of the twisting. Taking about 5 more rounds here, staying at the pace of your breath and just staying really interested, curious about the rotation happening in the spine, anything you're feeling in the shoulders. The belly is still responding to the breath coming and going. Maybe you lost count. I think I did too. This will be the final one here, opening and closing. Next time you peel open, pause, stretch your fingertips back up to the sky, burst through the fingertips, maybe roll out the wrist, just say hi to those little spaces. Full breath in, reach for new space behind you. Exhale, set the right hand down. Place it a little wider than your right shoulder here. Push into the floor, breathe in to open up the left side. Pull the left hand back, reach your palms in both directions, snuggle your left shoulder blade in. Stay strong and long here, feel the space. One more inhale. Exhale, hand to the base of your skull. Use the inhale to gently lean the head into the hand, feel the armpit waking up. Exhale, curl and round. Feel the spiral of the rib cage as you come in towards the arm. And then notice the space as you spiral out. Breathing in to open. Exhale, curl and round. Starting to sense the natural length and opening that the inhales bring. And then noticing the way your belly naturally pulls back towards the spine, the contraction of an exhale, so you have more depth to twist here. Let's say 3 more rounds from here. Opening, not cheating yourself by speeding up the breath now that you're getting familiar with the shapes and the transition. Last round, inhaling to open. Exhaling to curl. One more time we open, breathe in. Release your left hand to the sky and pause. Drive through the floor, burst through the fingertips, wake up the wrist for a moment, say hello to the left hand. And then exhale, set it down. Walk yourself forward to a tabletop pose and pause. If that was a lot on your toes, maybe tap the tops of your feet to really rinse that out and let that go. And look down at your palms to spread your fingers nice and wide. We want to stabilize this tabletop, starting to understand how to wrap the shoulders strong on the back body. With the palms open, look at the crease of your elbows. Start to just spin it forward to feel your shoulder like a corkscrew wrap onto the back body. Notice that stability. And then from here, bend your elbows a little bit. On the next inhale, drive your heart forward and up, lifting the tailbone and the gaze to the sky, cow pose. Stay for the edge of that inhale, don't cut it short. Exhale, use the earth. Push and round, tuck your chin and your tailbone, drive your heart to the sky, pull your belly button into the spine just by exhaling. Inhale pulls you open, the heart actively pushes forward and up as the shoulders ride down and back. Exhaling, there's leverage here. Use the floor, drive the heart out of the shoulder blades running off the rib cage. One more round. Good. Tuck the toes. Walk your palms back towards your knees. And again, draw your knees up into your chest. Now step your feet nice and wide, coming to Malasana Yoga Squat. The goal here is not to find stillness right away, but instead find a little bit of organic movement, swaying in and out of the hips, the feet, the toes. Notice what you're using in this shape. What seems to be active, what seems to feel passive. If this is really intense, you can always use the support of your fingertips. I know for me, this is one of my least favorite shapes. We're going to be here for just a few more rounds of breath. Moving and noticing, finding observation without evaluation. Slowly rocking yourself through center and finding stillness for a moment. If your heels haven't touched the floor, it's okay. You might widen your stance or just let them float here for now. Big breath in to feel your heart get tall. Let your spine participate in the shape. Take another breath in when you're ready. Feel the strength of your feet suction cupping the floor, the energy of your knees naturally pushing away from the midline. As you exhale, drive through the feet, hands or no hands, lift the hips and bow your head. Straighten through the legs. You don't have to go completely straight, just keep your feet where they are. Inhale, sit right back into your squat. Stay for the whole breath in. Exhale, drive through the feet, hips lift, bow in. 3 more like that. Inhale, dip low. Touch the edge of your squat. Drive to rise, hips to sky. Inhale, sits low. Touch the edge of it. Exhale, push it away. One more time, sit down. And exhale, lift up. Okay, plant the palms, start to heel toe your feet underneath your hips. Bend your knees a lot and surrender the weight of your head down. Make sure you're looking past your knees, not staring at your toes. Feel your neck release. With that generous bend in the knees, feel the weight of your head and your hands. Push through the feet, tuck your chin. Slowly roll up 1 vertebra at a time. Start to feel your spine unraveling as you come to standing in Tadasana mountain pose. Roll your shoulders back, palms forward by your side. Maybe a couple rocks, moving through the feet, the inner and outer arches, wiggling the toes, finding a deeper awareness of everything underneath you. From here, we're going to start to ride the elevator. So I want you to think about keeping your shoulders back over your hips as if you're up against a wall the whole time. The tendency is going to be to lean forward in this shape. Try to keep yourself pulled back like you've got a magnet between your shoulders and your hips. See that your feet are underneath your hips more or less. It's going to be easier with a little wider foundation. And as you're ready, hands can be anywhere to support you in this shape. I want you to drive off of the heels. Come onto your tippy toes. And think about all of the energy of the ankles and the knees and the thighs hugging to the midline like you're squeezing a block between your thighs. Now keep the shoulders stacked over the hips. Sometimes it's nice to add a counterweight of the palms forward like little zombie arms, but don't let your arms pull you forward. Plug the arm bones into the shoulder sockets. Stay with the breath in. On the exhale, how slow and controlled can you squeeze that block between your thighs? Keep your hips and your shoulders stacked in line as you slowly ride your elevator all the way down, fighting to go even slower, especially towards the end. And when you get here, pause. You can hang out just like this, feeling the strength of your feet. If they need a little bit of a break on your toes, maybe plant your fingertips, sink the weight back to your heels. Your heels don't have to touch down here. Just give the toes a minute. Maybe you can even squeeze and curl. And then walk it forward to a tabletop pose. Set the knees down. Palms come under the shoulders. Walk yourself to the very back of the mat here. Even maybe off the mat, just starting with your knees on the mat. We're going to give ourselves a bit of a runway. And we're going to start to work the containment, the strength of our core stability, and noticing where our hips are in space. So, again, fire up your tabletop like you mean it. Tuck all 10 toes underneath you. Push through the palms. Spiral the crease of your elbows forward to corkscrew your shoulders on the back body. Big breath in. Exhale, hover your knees. Still thinking about squeezing an imaginary block between your thighs. Now this is going to involve a little bit of coordination here. So imagine gluing your hips right here in space. They're not going to be on a swivel from side to side. You're going to try to keep them even and keep them as low as they are. On the next breath in, step your left hand, a handprint forward as your right toes come a step forward. Stay low, stay in control of the core. So it's opposite hand and opposite foot moving at the same time. Right hand moves forward, left toes move forward. Stay low, stay in control. Keep going. I don't want to mess you up by telling you which hand and foot I'm on, but they're moving in opposition. Go as slow and controlled as you need to. This work is about integrity. It's about keeping the hips as still as you can, keeping the core contained and stable. Once you get as far as you can, it's going in reverse. A lot of brain exercise here. Opposite hand, opposite foot stepping back. At the same time, they're tiny but mighty actions. All the while, you're thinking about keeping the hips level, keeping the core contained, staying with the strength of your breath. And when you get to the back, set your knees up towards the short edge and take a seat. Maybe you sit all the way back, hips to heels. Maybe slide a block underneath your pelvis. We just got about 5 rounds of breath here. See if you can sit tall but not rigid. Finding a good channel to prioritize the breath, moving up and down the body. Gaining controls of your exhales first. See how long you can push that breath out, how smooth you can make it. And really fighting to take your inhales through the nose, coming from the low belly to fill up the back of the lungs and expand into the crown of the head. Just another breath here. Okay. Go ahead and reach for your prop, whether it's a block or a book, anything that you're going to hold in your hand for this mobility work. Gently walk yourself up to the center of the mat somewhere. And we might as well have a little fun getting into this shape. While you're standing on your shins, think about shifting the weight into your left knee. This block is just in whatever hand. And so much so that you can float your right knee in space. And see how much fun you can have staying in control to step your right foot forward. Once it's there, honestly, you can set the block off to the side or you just hold it anywhere that serves you. You want to play with the action of the foot to wake up the leg. So you're tucking your back toes here, squeezing your right toes in front of you like it's a little energy straw pulling energy out of the floor. Once you feel that energetic pull, let it peel you into that lunge, sending that knee way beyond the ankle and pushing back to neutral. Do that a few times. Feel the pull of the foot driving your lunge forward, sending your knee way beyond the ankle as if it's tracking almost all the way over the toe. You're going to notice what space is available for you in the ankle. Try not to force anything. The idea is that the foot is active, and we're finding some healthy mobility work here. So give it one more pull into the lunge, and a push back out to neutral. See that your neutral is left hip stacked over left knee, and then there's more of a box shape, right knee more or less over the right ankle. Pick up your prop if you set it down and place it in your right hand. You're gonna hold this block or prop like a pizza, send the pizza overhead. Now, anytime you're pushing your palm overhead, you wanna let your shoulder ride up with you. So feel the length of your whole right side body, really push the block through the ceiling. Now we're gonna find the energy of the feet to do the work. Squeeze the right foot like that little suction cup. Think about pressing the left hip forward, driving the tailbone down. You can feel the inner thighs starting to pull together towards the midline. From here, with the energy of the feet coming towards center, on a big exhale, just press into your feet to hover your left knee. Stay with it. Keep driving the block up to the sky. Pull your right hip back an inch. Send your left hip forward, your tailbone down. I know this is brutal. Just one more breath here. Stay low, stay controlled. How low can you keep your hips? On an exhale, swivel and pivot open to Buddha squat. Draw the block into the belly as you sit the hips straight down. Think about the energy of the knees pulling away from the center line. Feel your feet become little suction cups, almost like the inner arches of your feet are lifting. And notice that there's more space to sink right down the center. Good, put the block in the left hand. Raise it up overhead, push your pizza up through the ceiling. Let your shoulder ride up with it. Take a big deep breath in on the exhale. Spike the right heel, pivot the right knee to center, and set it down with control. Left toes will pivot forward. Now, set the left foot over towards the left edge of the mat so that we're gonna sort of open up the stance here, a little less balance needed. You're still driving your pizza up through the left hand, and then maybe bring your right fist somewhere towards your chest or just like your forearm out in front of you. I want you to find the same action of your feet. So your left foot's a suction cup, your right hip strong and sending forward. You can feel everything pulling you up and in. On the exhale, I want you to look at the block just so you don't drop it, or just look somewhere where you're not getting dizzy, but challenge yourself. And you're gonna find a swivel, slowly drawing your right elbow somewhere near the floor. The forearm or the elbow may or may not touch down. Feel your hips push back and your feet squeezing to the midline. And then push to rise, spiral out. We're gonna take that 2 more times. Feel yourself pull into the swivel, hips push back in space, drive the block to the sky, and then use your legs, push out of it, core is strong, unravel through center. 1 more time, stay in control. Look up at the block. Come down to what's available. Don't rush to any destination. Be honest with the work. And then drive yourself to spiral out. Good. Now we're gonna set this up to move to the other side. Left foot probably comes in to close the stance a bit. Thinking about that same energy of the inner thighs, that same pull of the left foot, suction cupping. Drive the block through the left side, shoulders riding up with it. Feel the inhale to prepare. On the exhale, drive through the feet, just hover your right knee, stay low. Pull the left hip back, send the strength and length of your right hip forward. Both glutes are on, tailbone is tucking straight down. 1 more big breath in. Exhale, pivot open, block to the belly, sit low. Collect yourself here. Feel your knees pulling apart. Notice if there's more space to sit into. Send the block into the right hand, push it up and overhead. Spike the left heel. Exhale, stay low in the hips, pivot and plant the left knee to center. Spiral your right toes forward and set them a bit wider. Now that your stance is open, let's think about the work. Left fist or forearm somewhere in front of the chest. Feel the suction cup energy of the feet first. Drive through the block, wake up the shoulder, big breath in. Looking at the block, start to spiral. Left elbow or forearm is coming somewhere towards the floor. Notice how hard your right foot is squeezing and working to keep you stable. And then push, drive through the legs, drive through the block to spiral back to center. 2 more times. Take it at the pace of your own breath, at the pace of your own curiosity, but stay really honest with the integrity of the activation happening, not only in the shapes that we land in, but maybe even especially in the transitions to get there. After your 3rd round, pause. The work is the same. We're going to start to pick up the pace. Big breath in, close your stance. Exhale, hover the left knee, push through the block. Inhale, peel it open. Exhale, sit deep. Block to belly, switches into the left hand, drive it up to the sky. Spike the right heel, sit the hips down into the space that's here. Spiral the right knee to the center. Slowly set it down. Open your stance, left foot out to the left. Big breath in, look up at the block. Exhale, start to spiral. Push the hips back, drive the heart forward. Maybe the elbow touches down, maybe not today. It's a total of 3. Keep looking at the block. Keep working your feet, hinging the hips back. One more round. Coming through center. Step your left foot in a little bit. Squeeze your inner thighs. Feel the energy of the feet. Exhale, hover the right knee. Stay for the breath in. Drive the tailbone down, right hip forward. Exhale, peel it open. Sit deep, Buddha squat, block to belly. Spike the left heel, sit the hips down in the space that's here. Drive the right arm up to the sky, pause. Swivel and plant left knee to the center of the mat. Set it down. Open up the stance of the right foot. Look up at the block. Don't rush. 3 rounds when you're ready. Pushing hips back. Using the energy of the feet and the drive of the block to the sky. The more interested you are, the deeper and faster your body is learning. Okay, we're gonna take this one more time, front to back, okay? From here, you know what to do. Pull in your stance. Tighten everything up to the midline. Drive through the block. Don't forget about it. Exhale, hover. Stay for the breath in. Fire it up. Slide the tailbone down. Keep your hips as low as you can. Peel the left knee open. Block to belly. Sit low. Send the block into the left hand. Push it up to the sky. Lift up the right heel. Sit back into the space that's here. Breath in to prepare. Stay low. Exhale, swivel. Right knee to center. Set it down. Open up your stance. Look up, breathe in. Exhale, start your 3 rounds of work. Hips back, heart down, but there's a rotation happening in the rib cage. Spiral out of it. Big breath pulls you back into it. Force to spiral out, feel your strength. Lots of concentration to come back in. After your 3rd round, close your stance. Fire up your inner thighs. Use an exhale to hover the right knee. Stay for the breath in. Stay as low as you can in the hips. Exhale, peel it open, Buddha squat. Block to belly, sit low. Spike the left heel. Sit deeper in the space that's here. We're almost there. Drive the block in the right hand up to the sky. Pivot, left knee to center. Slow and controlled, set it down. Right feet go wide. Look up at the block. 3 rounds. Stay with it. Try not to rush the work. Notice your strength, that little push and pull. All these different actions happening in conjunction with each other in the body. As you finish your final round, release the prop somewhere off to the side, out of your way. You might even set it off to the side of the mat, depending on where you want to go for this last shape. We're going to offer 3 different life cycles for frog pose. So we can start simply by doing child's pose. If you go to child's pose, let your knees go a little wider than what's natural. And find a little bit of subtle activation in the shape. So as you anchor the hips down, really see if you can feel your spine like a string being pulled in both directions as the hips push down, but the crown of the head and the palms reach forward. Now, you can stay here in child's pose if this feels good and right, or you can move towards tadpole. And for tadpole, it's a little bit wider in the knees, so it might actually feel better to spin yourself to face the long edge of the mat and potentially either grab yourself a blanket or roll up the edges of your mat. You're going to come to a tabletop variation and start to draw your big toes somewhere towards each other. They don't have to meet. And then walk your knees much wider than your hips to whatever space is available now. So you're not rushing into any destination. You're really just sort of feeling your way there, one breath at a time. For tadpole, you can stay lifted. You can even sink back, getting a little deeper stretch into your glutes. You might feel it in the front of your hip points. Or you can slightly rock forward, kind of hovering through the center, feeling a little bit more in your adductors and your groin. softening into the shape whatever way feels accessible. And finally, if you want to go to frog pose, you can start in tadpole. You can be on your palms or your forearms. Lean yourself forward enough to kick your heels out wider than your knees and start to snuggle yourself into the space that feels available right now. The tendency here in frog pose, especially if you're already on your forearms, is to lean forward and make this easier. Maybe you push into the palms, really find a center. It's important that you fight to stay at the center as if you've got a weight stripping down straight from your pelvis to the floor. Notice the way your hips start to speak up in response. And take your time, either landing on a block or your forearms. I know for me, this is always a very edgy shape. So where can you immediately tap into the surrender of your exhales to feel your body softening as you notice the spaces that it's still bracing itself unnecessarily in this shape. See that there is a quality of kindness in the conversation between you and your body, even as sensations intensify. Noticing the way your exhales are a perfect example of strength in softness. And I know for me, coming into a shape like this is an immediate reminder that our experience is never a place. It is a focus of our attention. Notice where you're bringing your attention and understand that whatever you are focusing on is creating your reality and your experience. Maybe you can send a little bit of attention to the spaces where you feel little to nothing as far as sensation in the body. Maybe you dig a little deeper into keeping your attention on the breath, that circular rhythm, that smooth pattern. Just 5 more breaths here, stay with it. As you finish your 5th round of breath, the opportunity to stay in whatever shape you chose as long as you like. And if you're with me in frog and ready to exit, it's going to be a very mindful transition. Start to shift your heart forward so much so, nice and slow, that you can pull your big toes towards each other, thinking about tadpole. And then gently press up onto the palms. And slowly walk your knees back under your hips. Take your time. If you're on the move with me, unraveling your runway, and then coming in to take any final shapes for your practice, really trusting that you know what your body needs. A reminder that there's absolutely nothing that's necessary from here, but maybe you take a twist from side to side, you find a happy baby, a candlestick, anything that serves you. You might even go ahead and find your final resting pose here. Give yourself a few moments in stillness and savasana. Find some time to integrate everything that you practice on your mat into your life. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Hopefully you can use this as a warm-up and see how it feels to go into a regular yoga sequence after this. This should help you to feel open and strong in your joints, either before or after any gym sessions. Let me know what you think. Have a great day. Thanks for joining me.